Beloved students and precious friends, I am delighted to greet you in the month of the summer solstice, the day that is technically recognized as the beginning of summer. Of course, summer activities are often in full swing before the day of the solstice because light is plentiful and the weather is warm enough to support all that joyous outdoor summer activity. Thus, I greet you as the season of budding gives way to the season of flowering. Do pay attention to how beautifully Earth's abundance is displayed right now. Well, spring this year may seem somewhat remarkable since many people are feeling burdened with an unusual heaviness as the dynamics among nations continues to be sorted out. Indeed, uncertainty at numerous levels seems to continue, and for many folks, even the future may seem burdened by, the shock and awe of recent events. Of course, when the world seems frantic and out of balance, humanity simply cannot count on it to provide stability and support. Yet there is something upon which each of you can rely, even in times as chaotic, stressful, and unpredictable as the present planetary moment. I am referring, of course, to your spiritual practice. You see, ultimately, there is really nothing to rely upon outside yourself, your spiritual practice, and your inner purpose and motivation. Believe it or not, these are enough to sustain you, even through disquieting times such as you experience today. While many people do seek support from external situations, conditions, and sometimes even material things, these simply do not work very well. Indeed, situations, circumstances, conditions, and even people are continually changing, aren't they? Thus, should one attempt to depend on any of these for inner stability, she or he will surely be disappointed. You can, however, bring your mind to gently rest in the fact that others before you have cut through whatever illusions and delusions were presented along the path. Even in the face of being beset by major mental obstacles, they somehow manage to attain liberation. It is important to bear this fact in mind, since if they did it, so can you. Thus, instead of leaning upon any external convention or attachment as a source of support, go deeper. If you do, you may just discover a source of equanimity that draws you into perfect alignment with both physical and spiritual planes. You see, the polar arrangement of these two planes is what provides the equilibrating forces that generate and stabilize the point of balance in between them. While the tension of their opposition may be quite palpable, still these two poles do not fight each other, nor does one seek to subsume or diminish the other. Indeed, hidden away in this arrangement, there just may lie a lesson for humanity. What do you think? Well, as it turns out, these two poles have a clear and powerful relationship, and that relationship can actually be found, or perhaps experienced, in the in-between space. Indeed, that space encompasses both ends of the spectrum and everything in between. Aligned in a supportive bond with each other, they not only provide stability, they are continually exchanging information. Now, when that space is filled with chaotic thoughts and actions originating from humanity, it truly needs the higher frequency thoughts and energetic emanations of meditators. This is because meditation offers an entrance into a saner, wiser, and more peaceful reality that cannot be found elsewhere in the outer world. What's more, at this critical point in planetary evolution, that reality needs to be broadcast to the world. So, while most spiritual aspirants today do believe that meditation is important, they may also feel somewhat discouraged regarding their success or overall progress. In times of great planetary upheaval, this inner discontentment may be quite strong, since one's mind often reflects the outer turmoil one experiences. Of course, during meditation, numerous mental states will arise for scrutiny and inner investigation. While some may seem distracting or perhaps contrary to the desired peace of mind one is seeking, in the end, all arising mental states offer something useful, if only a bit of grist for the mill. Over the years, I have had many students ask questions about meditation. While some focus their inquiries on various forms of practice or specific techniques, the one question many want answered is, just what is meditation? Well, as it turns out, that is actually a very good question because it reveals an inner process that is honest and genuine. While some may expect an answer laced with lofty platitudes or perhaps complex instructions, it turns out that the most direct and honest response is actually simple and very down to earth. You see, put bluntly, meditation is just learning to let go. It is not about forcing the mind to be quiet, although a quiet mind does make meditation easier and more gratifying. Yet attempting to force it to be still will result in a lot of frustration, since the mind has a mind of its own. Indeed, that mind can be a very slippery fish to catch once it is taken off on its own agenda. Now, just as meditation is not about forcing the mind into stillness, neither is it about forcing the body to hold an awkward or uncomfortable posture for long periods of time. While good sitting posture does help one to relax and remain awake, attempting to force anything will never work when it comes to establishing a workable meditation practice. In meditation, one directs the mental focus toward watching the mind. Now, as long as the mind is quiet, one just remains aware of that quietness. Then, when it takes off, as it inevitably will, indulging some mental story perhaps, or fixating on a desire or an aversion, one just learns to drop the thoughts and feelings it projects. Should other mental artifacts arise, such as memories, fantasies, or even a compulsive rehashing of past events, one merely notices and then immediately releases those thoughts. Sometimes students fret a bit over just what exactly they need to release. Well, the answer, of course, is everything. Perhaps one way to look at all this is to see the mind somewhat like a monkey peering into a box of shiny objects. It will pick up one, then toss it aside. Pick up another, toss it aside, and continue going from one item to another. And this is precisely what the mind does with its toys, all those distracting thoughts that pop up unbidden. When this happens, it is important to realize that the mind is just playing with its toys. You see, while you may care what your mind is doing, it doesn't. Like the monkey, it only wants to be entertained. Of course, Meditation in all its forms is designed to address various mental states or conditions. Yet ultimately, meditation turns out to be a critical teacher when it comes to preparing for one's death. Indeed, death is the final letting go, isn't it? Thus, practicing turning loose of each arising mental object teaches one how to release all clinging, even grasping to life itself when the poignant moment arises. You see, given sufficient practice, one can successfully accomplish the final letting go without fear, apprehension, or hesitancy. Now, for many people, death is a hot topic, isn't it? Indeed, for most, it is a topic that brings up either aversion or fear. Thus, a common practice is attempting to avoid focusing on it at all. Indeed, here in the West, there is very little training for facing death or making personal preparations for what is, in fact, a very big and important step. Lacking training and opportunity for open exploration, it is really no wonder that so many people remain in a state of denial when it comes to the prospect of dying. Oh, they may accept the concept of dying, but most do not really attempt to prepare their minds for the moment it arrives. Yet since death is a part of life, facing it has some real benefits physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Of course, there are many benefits to meditation that have no apparent connection to dying. There are clearly health benefits, but there are also mental and emotional benefits, one of which is slowing down the aging process. Researchers have found that for people who have meditated daily for 2 or more years, the blood markers for aging are significantly reduced. You see, by focusing the mind on the breath and releasing stressful thoughts, one can distill greater clarity, generate a softer presence, and learn to make choices and decisions that are more proactive than reactive. In fact, by meditating only 10 to 12 minutes per day, one can subdue the mental intensity of anxious or fearful thoughts. So, you may be wondering, beyond learning various techniques and specific practices, what does one actually do in meditation? Well, it turns out that all the many forms of meditation have been devised to attain specific outcomes. Yet often meditators may run amok in seeing particular outcomes as their goal for meditating. Now, while setting goals is certainly helpful in many areas of life, this tendency can sometimes be a bit of a trap when applied to meditation. To be clear, the problem is not the goal. Rather, it is one's attachment to the goal. Remember, meditation is letting go, and this is clearly the case when it comes to attachments, isn't it? Indeed, a person can only attain true happiness when his or her attachment to happiness is released. Thus, in meditation, one watches the mind and continually releases whatever contents it generates, whether thoughts, feelings, memories, or even the activity of planning. Now, when the value of this practice is truly understood, the spiritual path becomes so simple. One simply lets go of wanting or greed and pushing away or aversion. In this way, a person learns to simply rest in the arising moment, no matter how actively the mind wants to pursue some mental form of engagement. Indeed, do not try to become anything or you will likely find yourself trapped in the image of what you want to be. I am a meditator. I am a spiritual person. Or for that matter, I am a doctor. I am a writer. You see, the notion of what the title means is the ego trap. Thus, to avoid getting caught in it, one should just do his or her best at whatever one is doing. In this way, one is able to release any notions of what it means to be this or that, and in that letting go, one exits the trap, you see? So meditate, but don't try to be a meditator. Also, don't try to become enlightened. In either case, in addition to being stress-inducing, all the trying can seem, well, a bit affected, can't it? What's more, attaching to the meaning placed on such titles can actually prevent one from attaining them. When sitting in meditation, simply let it be an act of sitting, quiet and focused. When doing walking meditation, simply let it be walking, albeit walking in a very focused way. Whenever the mind grasps at some notion or mental object, just practice letting go, or perhaps relaxing the mind's grip upon its object of focus. Likewise, when the mind resists the circumstances or conditions of any moment, just release the notion or idea to which it clings. Of course, resisting is actually one form of clinging, isn't it? After all, the mind must attach to a notion in order to resist it, you see? Indeed, if one is to rest within a peaceful mind, all aversions, points of grasping, and or resistance simply must be released. You see, the reason meditators carefully watch the mind is to become aware of what it clings to or gravitates toward, as well as what it wants to push away. When you catch the mind doing either, just notice. Ask inwardly, why do I fixate on this notion? Pay attention to how the mind tries to justify its proclivity, and then let it all go. When aversions or points of resistance arise within, ask, why do I want to push away that person, activity, or notion? Observe the mind's feedback with curiosity, and then release it all. This is a standard meditation practice, but I think you may be surprised at how quickly the payoff arises. Indeed, you will likely be able to release notions to which the mind may have clung for years. What's more, I think you will find it quite beneficial in generating inner ease and stress relief. In your exploration of consciousness and enlightenment, you may explore many meditative forms. Yet in the end, I think you will find that the real work of meditation is teaching the mind the art of letting go. This is particularly so when one feels haunted by some painful memory or stuck in worrying about the future. You will discover that you can, in fact, let all the mental babble go and gently rest in basic contentment. Indeed, this skill of letting everything go is both the work of meditation and its beauty. For the record, the Buddha taught only one form of meditation. He instructed monks in what he termed breath awareness. He would often say something like, "Monks, put your minds on the breath and follow it all the way to enlightenment." In fact, this little practice will quickly reveal the mind's ongoing attempts at distraction. When one begins this practice, it won't be long before the mind blurts out something like, "This is boring." Instead of reacting, the seasoned meditator simply remembers that the mind's chatter is just a clue to notice and release. While this is not really a difficult task, most meditators will need to learn some patience. Indeed, refraining from engaging with the mind will take some practice. Now, as a meditation teacher, the Buddha was exceedingly clear on establishing correct posture. He was known for telling his monks that if they could not manage to sit well, they would surely find meditation disappointing. Indeed, when a person slouches or slumps forward, this posture creates a tendency to fall asleep. If, on the other hand, one has an excess of physical energy coursing through the body, the tendency is to fidget or move about trying to get comfortable. Of course, until a relaxed, upright posture is established, a meditator is sure to be confronted by at least one of these conditions. Both are clear indications that the mind is not engaged in practice. In the case of slouching, the mind will have difficulty focusing. With fidgeting, the mind will be prey to incessant distractions. Let me instruct you in the posture the Buddha taught. As you sit, begin by rocking the pelvis forward just a bit, so as to attain a slight inward curve or sway in the low back. With the pelvis tilted thus, the spine is naturally held erect and the body is relaxed once one's weight balances nicely on the sits bones. Next, simply lift the shoulders and roll them backwards, pulling them slightly downwards. This opens the chest, allowing more space for the heart and lungs to function. Next, lengthen the neck upward just a bit, a movement that draws the chin slightly in toward the body. This movement directly aligns the head over the body, rather than protruding forward. Now simply relax. Just release any tension the body may be holding. With a little practice, this posture will become natural and comfortable. What's more, you will discover that it fosters wakefulness as well as proper bodily alignment. Next, gently place your attention on your breath, noticing how you experience it in this moment. Is it flowing normally? Or does it seem shallower or faster than normal? Now, check to see if your breath is carrying any emotional content. Is there a sad quality to your breath? Or does it carry a bit of irritation? Does it hold anxiousness or any other type of mild dissatisfaction? Notice carefully, but don't react. These are all normal inner experiences that are continually coming and going within the mind. They are neither good nor bad, so there is no need to layer any meaning on their presence. Instead, just notice what is with you in this moment. When you inhale, be aware that you are inhaling. When you exhale, know that you are exhaling. If it is helpful, you can simply think in on the in-breath and out on the out-breath. Continue breathing while focusing awareness on your current reality. You are merely sitting and breathing. Indeed, nothing complicated is going on. Your task is to simply remain conscious of the breath's rising and falling. Should your mind decide to wander off, stay present and notice, but do not take the bait it presents. Continuing in this manner, you are simply watching the mind as you focus on the breath. As you practice in just this manner, your breath awareness will expand to new dimensions, and your relationship to the breath will begin to change. As you become more breath conscious, you will discover that your most intimate relationship is with your breath. The breath, you see, is not only your teacher. At times, it may also be a healer. Indeed, there is much to discover as you come to know the breath. Remember, knowing the breath is much different than merely knowing about the breath. While that difference may seem small, I can guarantee you there is quite a chasm in between. Well, I hope this little teaching has provided some benefit for each one of you. May your inner wisdom lead you into a practice that can sustain you through even the most trying circumstances. For now, know that I love and bless each one of you, and that I look forward to joining you in your meditation practice. I thank you.